Hello Motor Oilers, it's Dave. Welcome back to the, I guess, hobby room. I guess I'll call it the hobby room. As you can see, most, not all, but at least most of the flats of the layout are up here out of the garage. I've still got one large section of helix and 4 sections of the triangular shaped flats that I just don't have enough room up here. As it is, it feels a little claustrophobic with these pieces put in the room. Just my perception anyway. It really shrinks the room down a lot, especially with this step up here. It really gives a weird perception of how big the room actually is, having the floor divided, which from what I'm aware of, that when they did the second story there was something going on where they had to have the step in this section. But anyway, it is what it is. Couple of things that I've picked up. One are these from the dollar store. These spoons, just the plastic spoons. Now, why I've acquired these? I was watching Barbatus Rex on YouTube channel, and he was going over different paints and stuff like that, and how they airbrushed out and things of that nature. Good channel, very informative. And he actually uses plastic spoons to test the paints on. So I thought, hey, that's a great idea, because you can see how the paint is going to lay down directly onto the oh gee, I hate getting old, where you drop words, you can't remember them. Anyway, onto the plastic, like dropping the name of the specific type of plastic. It'll come to me eventually. Or if you put down a surface primer first and then overpaint, and then how the surface primer will change the color that you're applying over top of the primer. So that quite interesting. So I thought that would be very useful to have, because I can, if I'm primering, I can paint both sides of the spoon primer, and then just paint the bottom side of the spoon in the color I want over top of the primer, and then I'll know what the color is over the primer. I could even write that down on the inside of the spoon, or the top of the spoon, and drill a hole in the handle and hang it up on the pegboard, so that I've got that as a reference for later. So thought that was interesting. Neat little tip that I wanted to pass on, some knowledge gained. That's the whole point of the channel, right? Passing on knowledge that we've gained from other sources. And I did finish my window block. I don't know. I don't really know what to call the darn thing. Barrier, the window barrier for the exhaust port. So what I ended up doing, as you can see as I pull this out and separate it, is I took 3 pieces of heavy cardboard and figured out what the total distance I would need to close the window, and what I would need with it together, so that I could actually bring it out of the window in one piece, and just made a 3-level sandwich, so that the tongue part here will slip in the groove adequately and collapse upon itself so that I can get it in the window and then expand it out, which I believe is about 1/2 inch, and then drop the window down. It holds everything tight enough that I'm not going to get blowback of the exhaust back into the room, and if it's winter, keep some of the cold out, and enable me to put in the exhaust pipe. So though I haven't tried it yet, and I've got the blinds or the drapes closed over the window at the moment, I've dry fitted it, though I haven't actually airbrushed anything with the venter on. But I have turned the venter on as far as having that in place and the vent all in place and turning the venter motor on. I should clarify that as far as try goes. So that's about the extent of it. As far as the airbrush setup is now essentially ready to go, and let's get that airbrush cleaner put back upright. So yeah, the airbrush system is ready to go. So that is a big section of where I can proceed, is painting some of the items that I've cast and getting them ready for being able to super detail the layout when I get a new layout. The Model Railway Club in Lethbridge here in Alberta has finally opened with no COVID restrictions, so to speak, that they can actually have club meetings and such. So I have yet to check them out. I just noticed on their website a couple days ago that they actually had information up, rather than we're closed due to the COVID restrictions. So that's something to happen proceeding, though it's, to me anyway, it's almost $200. I think it's $185 for a year's membership. And having not been a member of a railroad club before, I'm not sure if that's a little pricey or not. So I need to check them out and see what they're about and whether it's going to be worth it for me while I'm waiting to be able to put together my layout again, being a member and enjoying myself in that venue, and then working on my own stuff at home. As you can see, the desk is a complete disaster area. Not much has been put away. In fact, more things have been pulled from boxes and stuff and just piled up, waiting for them to find their own home. So that is something that has to be dealt with in the near future, though I did get this desk predominantly straightened out. And as you can see, the lights are on, so work areas are nice and bright. And I do have to still get the light bar here sorted out, though I could also use this hinge style lamp and attach it to the side of the desk and have that tilted over. So I don't know if I'm actually going to mount that other lamp or not, though I do have a way to mount it once I figure out what I want to do. That does generate a lot of heat. I found that the light strips secured onto that bit of I don't know what gauge steel it is, probably 14 gauge steel or 16 gauge steel, but it does get rather warm from the LEDs sinking their heat into the steel. So I don't know if I'm going to go with that or go with the other lamp, or I could even do both, because I've got the power bar there that I can plug both into as my master controls. So we'll see how that plays out. Still debris, if you will, that from the move that has to be sorted through, and some stuff that probably needs to go up to the garage now that I've got a smidge of room out there. But just a quick update video as to where things were. Most of the yard work is done, apart from just maintaining the grass now. All the brush piles have been dealt with, so I can now focus on getting the hobby room a little more organized, get what I can either, well, out of the cardboard box and either into a tote, or out of the tote and onto a shelf, or however I can arrange it, and dig out the trunk that's gotten piled up and start working on whatever I can. And part of that is the supplies in this smooth-on box. So that will be the next video, which will be very shortly posted after this one, as to what did I acquire that I can now work on. And then after that will be a look at the U-Chan soldering iron that I picked up to replace my old Princess Auto soldering iron. So get a little finesse going, and we can talk about that itself in its own video. So till the next video, I'm Dave. Bye for now.